Going on? What's good? I'm doing another vlog in the ride. Today, I'm all excited, man, about this vlog right here. I'm gonna try to make it short, sweet, and simple. This special vlog, it's about something that I've been wanting to talk about for many years, man. And for a long time I was kind of quiet and composed about it because honestly, I really didn't know how to say it. I didn't really know how to implement it. And I don't want to say it's an issue because, it's quite necessarily not. But at the same time, depending on who you talk to, how you implement it, it can become one. But at the same time, like I said, it's really not. But it's kind of like in a thin line, Something that, ever since 2006, when I first started using Twitter, people on Twitter, social media, in general, even MySpace, even Instagram, people I'm sure vlogged about this or blogged about it on YouTube, WordPress, whatever, you name it, right? People always said this one thing that really got me like, interesting, and it's a quote that many people would phrase or rephrase or paraphrase, but the quote basically is, quote unquote, I don't gotta explain nothing to nobody. Okay, now I'm gonna break it down what I mean by that, because when people hear that, when they hear something like, I ain't gotta explain nothing to you, right? I always thought to myself for the longest time, like, why are they saying that? Why would they say, I ain't got nothing to explain to you? Because, you see, I'm a type of person, I'm not an absolute kind of guy, meaning in other words, I'm not about the absolute, if you will. Because no human being is absolute. Let's be honest, let's keep that clear. Now, you could be absolute about certain things, don't get me wrong, like, I'm absolutely a good cook, but you see, you don't really have to say that because people will always comment you and compliment you on your cooking, or you're a great worker, you're absolutely a fantastic worker, you work hard or whatever, right? But it's a thin line between that too. But going back to the subject, I don't have to explain myself to nobody, or I don't have to explain myself to you. I always thought, like, why would you feel that you don't have to explain yourself to nobody? Because last time I checked, we all got to explain something to somebody. Not everybody knows everything. Now, going back earlier in my previous history of understanding that, when I first started using social media, for a long time, I was thinking, like, why would somebody say that? Is it because of confidentiality? Is it because of integrity? Is it because, they're being subliminal to somebody or to an audience or to a whole, right? Like, as in a whole, like, universal crowd, if you will. Because it doesn't even matter to me who you are, whether you're Christian, Muslim, gangster, killer, dope dealer, whatever. I'm not trying to be facetious, but I'm making a point. My point is that when you tell somebody something such as that type of quotation, if you will, you're letting people know, due to your impression of how you're being felt and led at the moment. Because see, we all go through stuff every single day. We all go through something, right? We all go through whatever we're going through, and many times it ain't nobody's business. And if it ain't nobody's business, yeah, you don't have to explain anything. You're right, and I'm all for it. But if you're going through something and you're trying to be transparent, but yeah, at the same time you're contradicting yourself and you're saying, oh no, I don't want to talk about it, but I'm letting you know how I feel. Like, I think that for you to say something like that is pretty unfair. Now, some cats are going to look at this vlog and say, oh, well, you're being subliminal already. No, I'm speaking as a general perspective. I'm speaking out just by experience in general. I'm just educating people to help them understand why this quote is always said. Because the person who usually says it usually has a lot of explaining to do, to say the least. And I know coming at it like that and saying it that way, how I just said it, again, some people are going to get the wrong impression. They're going to assume, oh, yeah, you're just blah, 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 whoop-de-woo, woo, woo, woo. It ain't even like blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop, and woo, woo. That's what it is, because I always tell myself, hey, man, if someone asks you a question, answer it, and this is why I'm not an absolute person. I'm not into the whole absoluteness, okay? I'm into, if I don't know something, I don't know. I'm going to ask. I want to learn. I'm a nerd, dude. When I was in school, all I did was study stuff, man. I didn't have a problem digging in, doing research, finding out what I needed to learn, what I needed to know on a need-to-know basis in order to be successful. Sometimes, when I had a lot of friends at one point, I had a lot of great friendships, a lot of great relationships with those friends. I tell you, man, I had to get to know these cats, man. Some people it took longer than others, but nevertheless, I got to know them. I've always been how can I say? Because, I don't want people to be thinking, oh yeah, you some cocky cat or whatever, or you think you all, Rico Suave or whatever, right? But let's just say I like to get to know people in the regards of not just wanting to be the friend, but, want to, let them know, hey, I care about people, that yes, I do love people generally. Because honestly, the only thing I don't care about from people is just when people act negative and act all immature and indirect and subliminal and cowardly and things like that. Other than that, I love people, and real talk, I don't like being around certain people because they love to express negativity and cowardishness, if you will. I don't know if that's a word, but what I do know is that I don't like being around people who act like cowards, and I don't like being around people who are not transparent, and I don't like being around people who act like they don't have to explain themselves. Now if you add on to saying that and say it's confidential or it's private or it's a personal matter, I respect that, not a problem. I think that's great. I think that when you say that, all right, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to let it be. I don't got a problem with that. I'm good with that, because after all, it is what it is. And so you got to understand, sometimes people, they just need to learn how to, not etiquettely, but properly and technically and thoroughly and kindly and respectively explain themselves. Because we all don't know what you're thinking about, and if you say something like that on social media, in person, whatever, yeah, I think you are entitled to explain yourself, and I don't think for you it's not fair to say that to people, because again, I'm a kind of person, I'm not a nosy person, but if I ask you a question, it's because I want to learn. It doesn't mean I'm being nosy. I want to learn. Trust me, man, if I'm being nosy, real talk, I ain't got a problem to tell you to your face. But I will tell you this, I'm not a nosy person, because usually nosy people gossip, you know what I'm saying? And usually people that say I don't got to explain myself to nobody or to you or whatever, when people say stuff like that, they backstabbers, man, straight up, man. A lot of the reason why I don't even have a squad nowadays, a squad, is because a lot of people don't like the fact that I always keep it real. But see, I can't even say that without people thinking, oh, see, there he goes again, being all boastful or whatever. That's not me being boastful, man. I'm just one of those cats. I talk a lot, but I always back it up. Because I don't have a problem doing that. I don't have a problem putting myself on blast, man, this guy need to pay attention to the light, man. Over here texting while I'm doing this vlog driving. Anyway, and that's contradicted big time. But anyway, yeah. But you know, I got a real problem when people, you know what I'm saying, they can't keep it real, man. You know? And my thing is, when someone asks me a question, I ain't shy to explain it, man. I ain't shy to let you know the truth. I ain't shy to let you know what's real. I ain't shy to let you know what's good for you and for me to keep it 100. I ain't, you know? And that's why I always laugh and I'm always like, when a lot of people try to doubt me, they try to ridicule me, they try to persecute me. Some cats subliminally and cowardly or whatever, try to call me a wolf in sheep's clothing or whatever. And I'm just like, nah, dog, like, that ain't even true, because all my real ones out there who be watching my vlogs and who personally know me, they'll tell you, man, yo, you know, he's the realest, coolest, you know, nicest, funniest, wackiest, friendliest dude, man. You just gotta get to know him a little, you know. He's a very misunderstanding dude that, you know, if he wants to know something about you, he'll confront you because he cares for you, man, because he loves you, man. You know, he might not like you that much because of the way you act, but as a person, he loves you and he respects you. And don't get it twisted. There's some cats I really don't like being around, but again, that goes back to their character. Not because it's a personal thing, cause me personally, man, I ain't got beef with nobody, dude. If someone had beef with me, I expect them to tell me flat out, I don't like you, and I can't stand you, and I hate your blah guts, right? I don't cuss because it's just immoral, you know, it's immoral. I don't cuss. So, but when cats come out and, you know what I'm saying, they over here like, I ain't got no explaining to do. I ain't gotta explain nothing to you. It's like, you lost all my respect, kid. You know what I'm saying? You lost all my respect. I can't look at you the same. Things has changed about you. Things is different about you. Usually change is good, but, you know, some changes here and there about everybody, myself included, they could be bad changes, man. Bad changes. You know, because not every change is good. But, you know, if you're going to keep saying that type of, like, attitudeness, I ain't got no explaining to do, or I ain't got to explain nothing to you, it's like, I don't get it, man. Like, why? Why would you want to say that to people? Why would you want to make an audience out of that? Why do you want to be thirsty for negative attention? Why? If you don't want to get confronted from cats like me, don't put stuff like that on social media. Don't be telling people that, man, in person. Keep it real. If you got a problem with somebody, tell them straight up. Be like, yo, you know, I love you. I respect you as a human being, but real talk, this is what I think about you right now. But be respectful, be kind, be gentle, you know, be patient enough. I'm not saying to be a doormat, to be a punk, to be a fool. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is you gotta have balance, dude. But you don't have to say, oh, I ain't got no explaining to you, or I ain't gotta explain nothing to you, or to anybody. You don't gotta have a bad attitude, man. Because you know, at the end of the day, people is watching me, people is watching you. And I'm not talking about on YouTube or social media. I'm talking about every single day. Man, I got people at work every day. They know I'm married. They know I'm a God-fearing, born-again Christian. They know I'm a Republican. You know what I'm saying? They know I love people and I love Jesus and you know, and I love living life here on earth, man. They know that. They know that. You know? I got people out there in my hood always looking at me, you know? Always eyeballing me, see if I'm gonna mess up, flip, or flop, you know? I got cats on social media being subliminal. You're saying all types of stuff that ain't true about me, and I'm sure many of y'all talk behind my back, and I really don't care. And I say that in the sense of not caring about your negativity. Remember what I said earlier about negativity? Rewind this part of the tape and you'll know. But in real talk, like, it's frustrating, man, because when people say that, Like, and I'm talking about grown adults, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim or I don't care what you is, man. It's like, to me, you sound like a baby crying, dude. You know? And many of my vlogs, I come really cool, calm, collected, but in this vlog, I have to really let people know, hey, man, you know, this is one part of me that people really need to know about. You know, not just reading between the lines and rolling with it and taking it from there. No, man. Like, you know, a little piece of a video like this, like, cats gotta know, man. Cats gotta know. Too bad I can't chop this up on Instagram, because I'll tell you, man, a lot of cats would be really heated on Instagram, leaving me negative comments. But real talk, if you say something like that, you do got some explaining to do, man. You do. You do. You can't justify it. You can't say, I don't want to talk about it and be a coward. You know, you can't. You know, if you're going to tell me something like that, real talk, dog, you do got some explaining to do. We all got some explaining to do, because that one day, and I am going to scare the hell out of somebody, because this is for their good. This is because I love you, man. But one day, you're going to answer to the maker, dude. And that maker is the Lord Jesus Christ. And he's going to ask you one day, you know, do you know me? He's gonna tell you. He's going to say some things to you. You're going to be like, what? And I'm telling you, man, you think you ain't got no explaining to do? I'll tell you something. If it ain't going to be on that day soon, it's going to be one day to somebody about something where indeed you will have some explaining to do. You will.